Cinema Shogun here, and in my last video, I tried to give you all a closer look at the neighborhood where Quinton Simon went missing. If you don't know who Quinton Simon is, he is a missing 20-month-old toddler that went missing from the Savannah, Georgia area on October 5th, and there hasn't been much information coming out since. But if you want to get caught up on the story, if you want all of the juicy details, go on my channel. I have uploaded several videos that will give you all the information that you need. But yeah, in the last video, I was just trying to give you all a better idea about the area where Quinton Simon lived. And I was clipping out portions of this footage that I was sent over from the area. But ever since I uploaded that video, I have had several people reaching out to me wanting me to just upload the raw footage of the area, because in my last video, I clipped out little portions just to show you some things and to point out a couple of things that concerned me. But there is extra footage that I didn't show. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to be quiet and I'm just going to show you all the area. But before I do that, I do want to point out a couple of things. I did point out some of this in my last video. One thing that just keeps glaring out at me is the amount of boarded up houses, abandoned trailers, abandoned RVs, abandoned businesses. There's a lot of abandoned buildings around this area. I'm not saying that it has necessarily anything to do with anything. I'm not even saying that I necessarily feel that there may be anything in this, in these abandoned buildings of interest, but it just really sticks out to me. When you have a toddler missing from an area and you get footage from the area, and it seems like every 3 or 4 homes, out of every couple of homes you pass by, some of them are boarded up. And I just wonder if law enforcement has been able to search these areas, because you have to understand, some people will own land and they'll move across the country and they'll just leave a house there to just rot. And, while it's easy, I guess, for some people, for instance, if someone did something wrong and they wanted to hide something at this abandoned building, there's nothing stopping them from doing that, right? Whereas law enforcement, they can't just search this property without the proper warrants. So I don't know if they've searched those areas or not, but there is tons of abandoned buildings right in this exact neighborhood. One other thing that sticks out to me is we have to keep in mind here, I know we have our own opinions, our own theories, our own speculation. I know that we all are really looking in one direction, but we don't know exactly what happened to Quinton. There's still a possibility, regardless of what we may think, there's a possibility that he was abducted. One thing that sticks out to me, like I was telling you all in the last video, is right outside of this neighborhood, there's just a bunch of low budget motels, and there's also a RV park right outside of this neighborhood. Now, nothing against people who stay at low budget hotels. Sometimes I stay at low budget hotels when I'm out of town. But the point is, if this is an area in this town where there's a lot of through traffic, and I'm not talking about tourist traffic. I'm saying this is the back road where if you're coming in town and you don't want to mingle, downtown, you don't want to really be seen, you don't want to, if you want to lay low and stay off the radar, this is the area where you stay for sure. The RV parks and all of these low budget motels. There's a lot of crime in this area, a lot of drugs in this area, and I would assume there's a lot of shady people that come through this area. Not to say that everyone in this area is shady, not to say that everyone that goes through these areas is shady. I have to point that out because people will get offended in my comment section. Just saying, if you were a shady person that wanted to stay off the radar and you were doing weird things like kidnapping kids, this is the route that you would want to take if you were going through Savannah, Georgia. You would want to stay at one of these low profile places. Also, one other thing that I forgot. While this person was driving around the trailer park or mobile home right outside of the neighborhood where Quinton went missing, they did see that law enforcement was searching one of the trailers in the area. It might not have anything to do with anything. I'll go so far as to say it probably has nothing to do with this at all. But we do know that law enforcement had multiple search warrants for multiple locations. We don't know where all those locations are, but at the same time that they were out here draining the pool and they were in Quinton's family's backyard, they were also at this trailer right down the street. Not sure if it means anything, just thought I would throw that out there. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and take a look at this footage. Like I said, I don't know if there's anything we can necessarily gain from it, but if you see anything, you spot anything of interest, you spot anything that you're curious about, please let everyone know down in the comment section, and I'll talk to you all soon.